Hey, Sci guys, welcome to another video! If you've ever been curious as to how you dye dreadlocks, bleach dreadlocks, how I do my maintenance on my color and my roots and all that fun shit, this is the video for you. So this is the final look after I've done all the bleaching and the dyeing. I still need to shave my sides, but otherwise this is pretty much exactly how I want my hair to be. So if you would like to see how I get this color, then keep on watching! Hi everyone, Cyanide's voice here. First of all, I'd just like to address that I look like absolute fucking shit in this entire video because I came down with such a horrible flu when I was overseas, and this was the only real thing I could do, and I could barely do it anyhow. So I just basically put up my dreads into 3 sections, and now I'm mixing up the dye. This is all sped up 10 times, so it's going to be kind of hard for me to keep up, but it's like 14 minutes, so we'll get there in the end. So basically I used the rest of my 40 vol. I didn't realize that I was about to run out, so I used the rest of that and then topped up the rest with a bunch of 20 vol that I had. So I'll need to buy some more 40 vol. Now I'm changing my shirt because I didn't want to get my new one all bleachy, and this one I don't really care about, and it's also white. So I'm starting with the bottom layer, and I'm just putting bleach on the roots and the ends. I haven't dyed the purple in quite a long time because I feel like the ends were a bit too dark for it the first time, so I haven't dyed the purple. I've let the purple run out quite a bit, and now I'm bleaching over it so I can hopefully get a more vibrant purple this time around. So all I'm doing is just taking one dread at a time, and when the root and the end are bleached of that dread, I'm bringing it to the front. So I flick all the dreads behind my back that I haven't done yet, and then once I've done that one, I bring it to the front. So yeah, I'm just going through on that one section there, and then when that one's done, I'll take down the second section that's piled on top of my head, and then the third one, and then I'll do my fringe, basically. So yeah, a bit about why I wanted to start YouTube. So I'm a cam girl on MFC, which, I don't know, is kind of obvious from some of my other videos. And I find most of what I do in my room is I talk shit, I drink, I joke, and we just kind of have a good time. And I feel like I do have a lot to offer the YouTube world. Talk about dread stuff, cultural appropriation, hair dyeing, makeup stuff, vegan stuff, snake stuff, piercing stuff. I'm really, really passionate about body modification, healthy body modification. I'm really passionate about proper usage of sex toys, proper materials being used. I just feel like I have a lot to say, and I feel like I can be very entertaining, and I've made quite a life for myself just being entertaining. And for some reason people like to watch me and listen to me, so why not expand that to another audience? It's a bit weird for me, obviously, being so, I guess, PG or M-rated in my videos, but I really do believe that, I don't know, people would be interested in watching me, so thank you so much if you're watching this. I really do appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to welcoming you into my family. Oh gosh. My legs kept getting tired when I was doing this because I was sitting in the same place for so long. I'm so sorry my face looks so gross. I can't believe how bad my roots were, holy shit. Ugh, I think I've only bleached my dreads once before this. So since then, that's just my natural color, is all that regrowth. That is not intentional. And the red and the purple are so washed out. I only notice how bad it is now that it's better. But I'm up to the final layer now, so I'm like almost done. That's pretty cool. Yeah, just getting bleach in there. I think I actually totally ran out of the 40 and I'm just using 20 now, which really sucks because the bottom layer is done so much faster than the top, and then my fringe wasn't as light as the roots at the bottom. But you know, it all looked good in the end, so not really that concerned now, obviously. God, oh, my roots were so bad. Oh, sigh. Oh, baby girl. Oh my gosh, and wear gloves, please. As you can tell, I'm wearing gloves. If you couldn't tell, they're clear. You really don't want to get bleach on your hands, and when you're dyeing your hair, you really don't want to get dye on your hands, just because that shit sticks around for so long. One time I did a tip war with a girl on MFC, which is where whoever makes the most tokens in the hour wins, and whoever doesn't has to do some sort of punishment. And I had to dye my hands with hair dye, and they were green and purple for days, and it was really hilarious. And I got the idea because my sister always forgets to buy gloves, and then she just has pink hands for a week, and I find it really funny. Pretty much my entire fringe was brown. I just had little like wee red tips. Yay! I think I'm done. Oh yeah, I'm just putting it back now. I'm just topping up with the last of the bleach that I had. Putting something on. Oh, I was getting a hair tie, getting it all back there. So basically I just left this on for like an hour and then rinsed it.
I'm just filming this on my phone because I can't be fucked to set up my camera again. It turned out pretty good, like underneath on the bottom half. Obviously it will be lighter when it's dry. So I'll have a look at it in the morning and I'll just re-bleach the fringe part at least before putting on the dye. It's like 1 AM, so I'm gonna go to bed. Good night.
So now I am doing the dyeing bit. As you can see, it was dry in the morning and I decided not to bleach it, mainly because I was so much sicker this day that I could barely stand. I couldn't stand in the shower, so all I could do was sit on my bathroom floor and dye my hair. So I'm basically squirting an entire fucking bottle of Red Corvette shade by Fudge Paintbox into a bowl. I do use like 2.5 of, oh pardon me, I use 2.5 bottles for the entire head because dreads just absorb dye like nothing fucking else. So basically when you're dyeing dreadlocks, especially with this kind of product, you can just palm roll that shit in and just basically coat the entire dread and also palm roll it a little bit, because the dye is non-damaging. If that stays in your hair forever, it's going to be fine. Obviously with bleaching and permanent dyes and damaging stuff, it's a different story. But if you're just using funky veggie dyes and stuff like that, you don't really have to worry about palm rolling it in and just letting it stay in there. Like, you sleep overnight in this shit if you can. I didn't have time this day, but I left it in for a good 3-4 hours. And then I rinsed it. I just didn't want to go to bed with wet hair again because I was really sick at the time. So I'm basically following the same method that I used before, except since I'm doing 2 colors, I started with the red. So I went through and did the red about halfway down the dreads. I used the neckline of that shirt as about the point where I stopped doing the red and would start doing the purple. So as you can see, like, the ends look well shit because I'm going to go over them with purple after I'm finished the red. I look even worse on this day because I woke up that day and I was like, how am I even going to dye my hair? Because it takes so long. It took about 2 hours just for this part because of all the colors, and it's different from bleaching because gotta make sure you get all of the yellow bits or it's just gonna look awful. So again, the shade is Red Corvette by Fudge Paintbox. It's the color I always use. I sometimes mix it with Raspberry Beret, I think it is, which I did do this time because I only had 2 bottles of the Red Corvette. So I mixed in the Raspberry Beret, I think with the second bottle, just to give it a little more volume. I think I've just used that entire bottle now, and I'm not even halfway done, so I'm like, shit, okay, I've got to put in more. And, yeah, there we go. How funny. I literally get it all over myself. This is sped up 10 times, so hard to keep up, so I'm onto the 2 out of 3 sections. Just the red bits, drinking my tea. And yeah, some of my dreads are so short that they're entirely red, just because I had super layered hair before I made my dreads 3 years ago. So some of my dreads are quite long, some of them are quite short, a few of them I extended with human hair as well. So it's a bit of a shitstorm, to be perfectly honest. Imagine if someone could actually dye their hair this quickly. It would be kind of horrifying. It's so cool to see how long my dreads have grown, and I was so happy with how the ends turned out, with how light they got. The purple turned out so vibrant. I was really happy with it. Gosh, what else should I say? I feel like I've still got quite a long time to talk to you guys. Yeah, I live by myself in a little beachside bachelor pad with my python Medusa. I cam full-time. I travel a lot. I'm Australian, obviously. I have a best friend I get coffee with every day. I have an awesome mum and sister who are also my best mates. I like women and men. I don't know. I just coughed, I think. Oh god, the fringe looks awful, but at least it was more bleach than before. La 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 la. Doing the red. Yeah, I haven't even moved on to the purple yet, so I better think of something interesting to say. Yeah, there's not really that much to me. Oh, I like fire twirling. I'll probably do a fire twirling video at some point. I do concerts with just the music as well. I think it's like $30 a ticket for access for the whole month. And I do it every other month, so $30 gets you access to the whole thing. I do my fire twirling, and most of the other girls do singing and stuff, so that's a little fun thing that I do as well. I like to go to fire events and drum events and things like that, crazy hippie stuff. Contrary to popular belief, I do not do drugs often. I am Australian, so I do drink alcohol quite a lot, but I am not an alcoholic. I don't drink every day, don't need to drink every day. It's just such a cultural thing here. Gosh, I'll probably do a whole different video on my piercings and stuff like that and my modifications, because I was just about to start talking about my ears and stuff, but I guess I'll do a video on that at some point. I can't believe how messy I always am with dye. I feel like this is a lot messier than I normally am. Okay, I'm moving on to the purple now. Okay, this shade used to be called Purple Haze by Paintbox Fudge, but they changed it to Purple People Eater, but I'm sure it's the exact same shade, because I was looking for Purple Haze for so long when they changed the packaging and could not find it, and then got this one instead, and it's the exact same shade, so it's just called something else now. And yes, the reason that I do use Paintbox instead of Directions or SFX or anything like that is I find that Paintbox is slightly less conditioning. And when you're dyeing dreadlocks, the last thing you want is for them to be conditioned and taking out the knots, because dreadlocks are knots and you kind of want them to be there. So that's kind of why I choose this dye, and I find, yeah, it's fine. It probably doesn't last as long as maybe Directions or something like that would. I've used Directions quite a few times with good results. But unfortunately for me, I like to choose the colors that run out really quickly. Reds and blues and purples and greens are like the fastest colors to run out, so... but yeah, having dreads, I probably wash my hair every 1 to 2 weeks. I'm pretty lazy about it. In summer I'll wash it more often, or if I get really sweaty or dirty or something, but I find it's just not really necessary. Like, unless my fringe starts looking gross and greasy, my hair is fine without being washed for a while, so luckily I can go a couple of months between dyeing it, because as you can see, it's quite a fucking process. It really does take, in this case, it took me about 2 days all up, because after you bleach, you gotta wait for it to dry. Dreads take forever to dry, and then you gotta do the first color and the second color of hair dye, and it's just a whole fucking thing. Goes all over you. I'm actually amazed that my skin isn't still stained. I got literally all of it came off in the shower, and I had this hair dye in for 3 hours, and I just couldn't be bothered because I was too sick. I was too sick to stand up and properly wash it off. You can see me just like casually coughing and stuff during this. This looks so funny sped up 10 times. But the process took so long, I had to speed it up so much. Yay, I'm almost done with the purple. It's gonna look nice. And I feel like I'm improving that grey shirt a lot. The only reason I owned this shitty grey shirt was from when I used to have an office job. I'm literally never going to wear it again. I just keep a few shirts that I don't care about for hair dyeing and painting and things like that. Pardon me, I'm still a little ill. I'm totally not going to edit this recording at all because I can't be bothered, and I kind of like that it's a bit raw and natural. Just kind of what's coming out of my mouth. And you don't have to listen to it if you don't want to, obviously. If you just want to see me dye dreads, you can just watch the video. It looked like I just smelled that thing of hair dye, but I just bit off the cap, because they come with this little foil covers. Oh my gosh, we're almost done, you guys. And a lot of my top dreads won't need the purple, or just a tiny bit, because they're a lot shorter, because I used to have mad scene hair, and the top of my hair obviously was a lot shorter than the bottom bits. So yeah, some of my top dreads are fully red, some of them just have a little purple paintbrush tip. And as my hair grows, I'm literally just gonna keep the ombre moving down my head, so eventually, you know, there'll be more red. The red will be longer anyhow, because, yeah, I don't really mind that. And I don't intend to cut my dreads, or even just, you know, I might cut them a little bit if they're a bit wispy or whatever, but I intend to just kind of grow them as long as I can, so see how that goes. I've had them for 3 years. Oh my gosh, how long do I have left? Oh my goodness, we're almost done! I'm just showing off kind of the final results of what it looked like. after I was done dyeing and the mess that I made. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Woohoo, I'm so messy, yeah. So that was the long, arduous process of how I dye my fucking mop. Overall, it took more than, I'd say, 3 hours, including the rinsing time and shit like that. So welcome to my life. This is why I do it so rarely and how exciting it is when I do. So thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to leave me a comment because I thrive on the validation of strangers.